Hello Kidney Army, my name is EHX-KOR, as you probably know. This is part 2 of my DeviantWHY special video series. If you haven't seen the first one, it should be linked right about now on screen. If you don't see it on screen, the link will be in the description. I urge you to watch it before you hop back to this video. Summer couldn't come soon enough that year, and this just so happened to be the year of my high school graduation. I think this had at least some sort of negative impact on Sydney, as I was clearly moving on with my life, while she seemed to be stuck in the same spot. Almost immediately after my graduation, I had landed a full-time job at a local fast food joint. Yeah, it may not have been the most ideal place to work, but it did me well at the time. I had something to do while I was on gap year, and I was making money from doing it too. This obviously meant that I had significantly less time for Sydney, especially when taking into consideration that I was just beginning to spend more time with friends outside of a school setting. This could be far from the truth, but something tells me that she sort of resented me for putting these other responsibilities and relationships above her on my priority list. However, with that being said, I still immediately began saving up to travel all the way to the US East Coast to visit her. A trip that would have cost me upwards of $800 Canadian at the time. I was originally supposed to make the trip in October, but we decided to settle for Christmas and her birthday instead. This meant that, yes, at one point she had convinced me to abandon my own family for the holidays, to instead spend it with her in a different country across the continent. I was going to buy her an $80 Wacom pressure-sensitive pen for her iPad as a gift. This information seems oddly out of place now, but as with many things I have mentioned seemingly out of the blue before, it will come into relevancy later on. At the same time, however, she was beginning to drift off a little bit too. She had gotten into a relationship a while prior, and I had only just learned about it around this time. I was happy for her, I truly was, but I will admit I was a little bit jealous when she never seemed to have time for me, when I made efforts to have time for her despite my busy schedule. I suppose it could have been a simple case of bad timing between the two of us, but that's certainly something neither of us took into consideration. At one point I did try to address the situation, and my concerns were met with hostility. She would scream at me a lot for it. At one point making the bold and uncalled move of shouting, "What, do you want to fuck me or something?" Because apparently wanting a little bit of her friend's attention from time to time now equates to wanting a sexual relationship with them. Who knew? I knew the person that she was in a relationship with somewhat, and I had suggested multiple times that we try to have a group conversation so that I could get to know her a little bit more. But she always made excuses. It was always either, she's too busy, she can't call, her parents are asleep, or my personal favorite, she doesn't like you. Absolute bollocks. However, at the time I foolishly believed her. She convinced me that this other girl truly did hate me in every way, and I felt ashamed for it. I didn't want this girl to hate me. Looking back on it, this is where things truly began to take a turn for the worst. Over the course of the latter half of summer, we began getting in more arguments and things turned very cold between us. I remember one day, just after I had finished work, either I had called her or she had called me. It was about 5 or 6 in the evening, and I was on my way home. I don't remember exactly what went down in the conversation. The only recollection I have of this conversation is that I had responded to something she had said with something I definitely shouldn't have. I was feeling particularly irritated with her in that moment, and that set her off on an angry, cuss-filled tangent before abruptly hanging up on me. We continued to have fights akin to this, and it really began to take a toll on me. Even with all of this commotion going on, I still did my best to try and help her. She had expressed to me many times how she wanted a job because she never had any money, and many times I had offered to help her build a resume, and she always accepted. However, whenever I checked to see if she had actually started it yet, never did she have anything to show. Instead, she would simply continue to complain about this easily fixable problem that she had. She treated my offered help when it came to general relationship problems the same way. Lots of complaining, but very little urgency to actually fix the situation. The second worst fight we had before our first split took place on Labor Day of 2015. I had managed to get in contact with her, where she had told me that she was going to the hospital because of stress-related heart attacks. I had a gut feeling that she was going to blame it on me, and like an idiot I inquired. This is where my suspicions were confirmed, and she angrily began to tell me that it was all my fault, blaming all of her stress and health problems on me. Yes, because it is I who is causing your heart to fail, and not your horrifically poor eating habits that included 7 times more carbs than the recommended portion for someone of her age and height, binge eating, and the overconsumption of such fatty foods it would make anyone's stomach churn. She then put me into a group chat with 2 of her friends, who she had also conditioned to dislike me greatly, where they all proceeded to go off on me. I couldn't push myself to eat anything that day, and became quite ill in the evening. This was just before I had started my shift at work that night, but because I'm not a fucking pussy, I stayed anyway, as I knew I couldn't just up and abandon my team who desperately needed me that evening. She never apologized for that outburst she had on me. The problems she was causing me began to affect my ability to function properly. I started forgetting to punch in at work. I often became very stuck in my own thoughts and tended to forget about the world around me. I was losing sleep over the stress that was being caused by her antics. I had even left the scheduled band workshop only halfway through without notifying anyone because of it all. Eventually, I checked myself into the same hospital I had been initially taken to just a year prior. I went after work without knowing if I was going to be kept there or not. She had told me many times that was where I belonged at this point. And so I just thought, I might as well. For the record, over the next 2 years, she will refer to me as the emotionally abusive one. I didn't know emotional abusers tended to hospitalize themselves because their supposed victim consistently told them how worthless of a person they were, and how they belonged in a mental institution because of a variety of accusations, including those alluding to paranoid schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, split personality, demon possession, and psychosis. Yes, these are actually things she tried to convince me that I had, and for a while, she succeeded. I believe that it was October 28th, 2015 or so when we officially split off for the first time. I was out with Jer and AJ, and while I was annoyed that she chose to be a complete drama queen while I was out with friends, I look back and I'm thankful that I wasn't alone at the time during this lengthy battle, because things could have gone down much differently for me had that been the case. I wasn't in a good place during this time, mentally nor emotionally, and having a couple friends with me to deal with it meant that I had a better chance of getting over it. So instead of committing any regrettable acts upon myself, we made fun of her overly emotional, reactionary behavior the whole way through. I don't remember what exactly brought this on, but those details will likely be revealed in the reading of these Skype messages, all of which I still possess. I want to give a little disclaimer here for all of you who may be newer to my channel. The person in these messages is not the person who I am today. Since this time, I have grown and changed dramatically, and quite frankly, I'm embarrassed by many of the things I said in this conversation. I'm showing you this in full because I don't want to skew any of the content, and thus constitute as deception of the situation. And because if I don't show it, there's a chance that Sid may attempt to use it against me later on. So in a sense, I am also covering my own ass. Alright, so this is an unedited reading of the Skype messages. These messages are from October 29th, 2015, so excuse my mistake, this was October 29th, not October 28th. So it starts off with myself, and like I said, I don't know what exactly brought this on, but hopefully that'll be revealed within this conversation. I still know about that super illegal thing you did. Oh, what was it again? Falsification of evidence. And tampering with evidence. Oh, I just realized I have so much power. Haha. Go ahead and tell. All you're doing is proving me and everyone right that you're holding shit over my head. And keep me in a toxic excuse for a friendship. Nah, if you saw my note, you'd know my thoughts. I just thought I'd point out that I can fuck you over so hard if I really wanted to. Not to mention, you gave me your address as well. You're so spooky. I sent you some shit, I hope you're happy. Materialistic wanker. You know, I can probably call the cops for you. You know I can probably call the cops on you for harassment and blackmail, right? I'm not doing anything really. I'm making a point. You're the one who's the toxic person. You're blackmailing me. You make me sick. You're an abusive bully. You make me ashamed to be a part of your species. You're just like my father. So are you. Fuck, what happened? Where'd it go? Where the fuck did it go? There it is. You're just like my father. So are you. You're no better than him. Same with you. He did the same thing. So are you. What next? You're gonna cry and whine for me to come back. You're a pathetic waste of sperm in the night. Nah, you're a prick. So are you. You done? Or, cause you aren't really doing anything, you're just proving my point. You're also a fat ass who refuses to get a job and instead complains about being in poverty. Boo-hoo. Guess what? People have to work to get out of poverty. Something that I guess you're incapable of doing. You probably wanted me to get killed that night. Sure, why not? And I would like to just point out, at this point I was just being a dick for the sake of being a dick. Because she seemed to want me to be a dick. So I was just saying, I was basically saying, okay, sure, I'll do whatever the fuck you want. Because that's what would have happened. Put words in my mouth, why don't you? You were fucking pathetic. Throwing a pity party, are we? I have no sympathy for you. People go through shit. Tough. I can't wait to see the day your girly friend kills someone in a car accident due to her careless driving. Oh wait, you didn't actually read my note, that's right. I think I've won this one. Congrats. This message has been removed. And if I remember correctly, she said something about being a fake tranny or something along those lines. Where she made some sort of legitimately transphobic comment, not some social justice warrior type transphobic comment, but some actual legitimate transphobic comment toward me. Wait a second, is that, oh no, that's not one of the no fucks I give. Good luck taking screenshots. Ooh, spoopy removal of messages. And then she sent a bunch of fucking emojis because she didn't have anything else to say. And you know, when someone sends nothing but the same thing over and over and over again, that's basic, and this is kind of a part of winning an argument 101. If someone starts to send you the same thing over and over and over again, that's basically signifying that they have absolutely no more argument to put towards you. Which means you have essentially won. Because they no longer have anything to say in retortion to what you have said. And you call me pathetic, LOL. And there's a bunch more emojis. What a transphobic little cunt. Again, we're talking about actual transphobic comments, not the social justice warrior version of transphobic comments. And about 9 more messages of the exact same thing. Why don't you do us both a favor and cut the shit? And then I sent her an image, and I will download that and put it up for you guys so we can look at it. I believe this was the message that I sent her over DeviantArt, which we will probably take a look at afterward. And so did you. I'm not oblivious. What point are you trying to make? That you and your feline only pretended to like my art. And the reason I said your feline is because, 1, I was being a cunt, and 2, because of her, at the time, girlfriend's nickname. I'm not going to say it directly, but you can probably gather what it was from this comment. Shocker, really. These games are getting very silly, and after reading, and after really, and after thinking about this, I realized maybe all of this is fate. The car accident, your bullshit, it's all fate. The car crash was a wake-up call. She's a careless driver. She's a distracted driver. But of course, it's not her nor her sister's time yet. That's why they didn't go. It also happened to keep you away from me because this opportunity I have isn't meant for you. It's meant for me, just me. Sam and I reconnecting, Paige and I reconnecting. It all makes sense. I don't want to lose you, but maybe it's fate. Maybe our paths are meant to cross again someday, and maybe you'll have grown up then. You're too stressful for me, you're extremely materialistic, and you only liked me because you knew I could give you things. And I gave you a lot of things. And now I know I shouldn't have done that. I see that now. Of course, I'm not canceling the comic. I'll be taking the character that I need, since you only made them for the comic anyway. Unless you wish to still be a part of it, in which you are more than welcome to be my co-worker for the project. Of course it hurts to see you walk away, and it'll hurt for a little while, but life is full of pain, and when that happens, you know something great will happen later on. And she sends much more emojis because she has no valuable anything to say. This message has been removed, and I do not know what it was. So, my apologies for that. And then I said, because you're jelly as fuck. Me, I'm jealous, you're hypocritical as hell. And here's a message. Oh yeah, this is just her sucking up to me at one point. Boy, you do turn quickly. God, you're mental. So are you, but at least I'm trying to get better. If you want, I could take screenshots of all your bullshit, while you just choose to suffer in silence. Because I don't self-loathe like you do. That's all you ever do. And I will prove to you guys that this is bullshit, probably in a later video. I don't know if I'm going to have enough time to share it in this one. Probably not. This video will probably be much longer than my previous one, because I do have a lot of raw footage that I'm going to be sharing with you guys. But I will get to all of that stuff later on, in probably another video. You don't reach out for help either. Heh. You throw pity parties for yourself, and then the heh-heh-hehs continue. You don't talk to anything. You don't talk to anyone about anything, and then you wonder why nobody cares. That's fucking hilarious. You're the hilarious one. Guess what? No one cares about your suffering. You wanna know why? Because you don't give them the chance to. Well, I do pride myself on my sense of humor. I'm very punny indeed. Then why don't I do you a favor and end myself? I don't know. Why don't you? I'm not stopping you anymore. You're kind of worthless, to be honest. That's what you've been waiting that's what you've been waiting for me to say, right? You said it, not me. The money I don't have to waste to visit your sorry ass, I can now put towards something that actually matters. I'm glad. The trip to Barbados with Jenny, college, something useful like that. Maybe you can buy yourself a therapist. Which, I guess she doesn't realize we have universal healthcare here in Canada, so it's kind of already paid for. Have fun wallowing in your own self-pity. Oh, hon, those are free. Okay, so I did say that. Same to you, hon. Oh, right, you live in Amerifuck. Ooh, anti-American, so swoop. I'm actually... This is actually getting very funny. This is actually quite funny. Where they fuck the citizens daily and you guys still refuse to leave. This was another thing I want to kind of mention. Since I am obviously very different from this. I will admit, I was a little more left-leaning when this was taking place than I am now. Right now, as you guys know from my previous videos, I personally consider myself a sort of center-left. So I'm fairly centric, slightly left-leaning. I guess you could say I am some sort of a libertarian to a certain degree. Back when this was taking place, and this is extremely embarrassing to say, I was still kind of sort of hanging on to a specific identity that I had considered myself as. I'll probably talk about that in another video later on in its own, just because I do kind of want to talk about that, but I'm not going to do that in this video particularly. But just to put it simple, I was definitely more of a liberal then than I am now. And I don't know if that matters to you at all, but I don't know. To me, it does say something. And that's all I really have to say about that. Better than Canada. Shitty people and nothing but moose. Oh yes, where our PM is going to legalize pot and where our healthcare is free, our wage is increasing, and we're still better off than the US. Of course, back then, I didn't know that our president, or prime minister, was also going to introduce the shitty legislation that is Bill C-16 and, what was it, Bill M-103, or something along that line. And then not fulfill any of the promises that he had made during his campaign. Silly us. Silly us. We only have another, I think, year or so before we can finally vote that motherfucker out of there, so that'll be good. Good for you. I have nothing against Americans, just the country and the way it runs. You know this. Well, most Americans. But anyway, back to reality. Like I said, if you want to be part of the project, or whatever, whatever. If not, I'll just take the characters I need, and I'll continue it alone. And I want to add a little bit of context to this, because it looks bad looking at it without context, obviously. But one thing I do kind of want to, well, not even kind of, one thing I do want to say, holy fuck, it's 1 in the morning now. Oh my god, the time goes by so quickly. It's almost 2. I'm not gonna be done this till 3. What the fuck ever. Fuck, what was I gonna say now? Oh yes, this is what I was gonna say. So, in previous arguments, she had thrown these, certain characters that she created for my comic in my face, saying, take them, I don't want them, take them, I don't want anything to do with you, and whatever. So, me, predicting that was going to take place anyway, I just said, you know what, whatever, you don't even have to say it, I'll just fucking do it. And so here she says, here she thinks, oh, well, now that you actually want it, I'm not going to let you have it. Because I'll throw it at you when I know you don't want it, because it'll make you stay. But now that you want to leave, I'll make it so that you can't leave. Because if you do leave, then you'll have plot holes in your story. So, that is kind of the way that she was going on about it. And I will say it was very, very sneaky, it was very cheeky, and it's a very, very smart thing to do if you're trying to be a manipulative little shit like she was. Onward with the conversation. We've got quite a bit to go, as you can see by that tiny little speck right at the side of the fucking window. You're not taking my OCs. Do that, and I'll say you're stealing, which you would be. They are made for the comic, you said that yourself. If you're not going to be a part of it, you don't need them. And no, they aren't. And you owe me money anyway. Now, Tem and Skid aren't in the comic. Tem is mine. Which, I just realized, none of you guys have any idea about this at all. So, like, a lot of you guys don't really know anything about this character stuff at all, in terms of, like, my own works, which is fine, I understand. But these are two characters that are part of the story that I created. And one of them that she's claiming is hers is a character that actually I made. And the other one that she claims is hers actually is hers, but she bought the design off of me. She actually bought the design off of me. Bullshit, I don't know your shit, and no, he's mine. All the points I gave you, and no, actually, I made him. I designed him, and you have no rights to him. Yeah, those were a gift. Nah, because... And I say nah, because she said that she was going to borrow them, which implies that she's going to pay me back. And if you don't know what points are, it's a DeviantArt currency. Just to give a little bit of context, because I know a lot of the people who follow me on YouTube don't follow me because of DeviantArt, but follow me because of politics. So, again, context right there for you. No, I made the personality and had most of the development, so he's mine. Nah. All you did was make a pretty picture. You're pathetic. He's mine. No. Uh-huh. By the way, I think it goes on like this for quite a while, which is fucking stupid looking back on it. This was my character from the start, dipshit. He's mine, end of discussion. You drew him once. No, he's not actually. Without me, your little comic wouldn't even have a coherent plot. I've never stated him as yours in any of my descriptions, so he is my property. He's mine. Yes, but you are abandoning the project, and the characters remained with it. That's how it is. And you know what? I absolutely wish that this is something that I absolutely wish that I had done. Because if I had done, then this little shitstorm that's going on here would not have taken place. What I should have done was I should have written up a contract and, you know, put all of this information in stating all of the ideas that were produced for the story remain with the story, all of the characters produced for the story remain with the story, and all of that, and that the story is my intellectual property and my ownership. And I should have had her sign that, but of course, because I was an idiot and I didn't really know anything about contracts, and I'll admit I still don't really know a whole lot about writing contracts, I didn't do that, and that is something that I do regret to this day. I wish that I had done that, because it would have saved me from a lot of this bullshit that is taking place in this conversation here. I could have simply shown her the contract and say, hey, you want to go to court? I will take you to court for this. So back the fuck off. But, of course, I didn't, and so this took place. No, but, sorry, no. I'm not letting you ruin this for me. Lol, I flagged you off for using my OCs without permission. And no, it's fine. There she is, playing more of these ridiculous games that she seems to love to play, and this is again part of the manipulation that she's doing here. She's lying and she's manipulating the entire situation. And I shouldn't have given in to all of it, but of course I was, what was I? I was, like 17 and really stupid and a fucking liberal, so there we go. That explains basically everything. 17, stupid, liberal. Tent isn't yours. Keep hope, I don't fucking care. Or, I don't fucking know. He's mine. And again, this shit just goes on and on and on. But of course, like I said, I'm gonna go through all of it, which means it is going to be very monotonous. So I'm trying to liven it up a little bit here. We made him together, but since you're leaving the project, he stays with it. And again, she retorts back to the, nope, he's mine. Because why? Because I said so. Dude, yeah, he's my OC. You can't flag me for drawing my own character. I'll draw him as much as I fucking want. Because I have full ownership of this character. And then here is some prime evidence of that. Here she says, this character, who is not related to this, And this character, who she is claiming is hers, belongs to me. That is my icon from that time. And Skitzel, the other character, is hers. The one that she paid for the design for. You even said it yourself, so I've won this too. Yeah, but nice talk and really feel the love. See, this is like she obviously doesn't want to admit her defeat. And I think that is probably part of the saddest thing, is that she knows she's lost, but she won't admit it, because I honestly think that she is kind of wimping out on this, because she knows that she can't get away with it, but she's still trying. She's trying, but she knows that she can't do it. I can just make a replacement. He's replaceable, easily. Unless you actually would rather me pay you the 50 you spent on him back, since you probably won't use him anyway. Have I got you stuck? And then here's another piece of evidence that just shows, hey, you have credited me for this. So, that's kind of proof that you have agreed that, you know, I have full ownership. And as I said, more proof, by the way. Yeah, my OC. Look how that's my icon. I don't see that. How do you not fucking see that, you fucking idiot? That was before you were psycho. The psychopath calling me psycho. That's rich. That's real fucking rich. You're tampering with more evidence. You're really good at that. Yeah, those were good times, huh? This clearly shows that he's my character. You're at a loss. Yeah, but the thing is, I made him. You only designed him. So, you are the one who is doing the stealing here. That's not what the thing says. He's mine. This belongs to my asshole, and then my icon. This belongs to this asshole, then my icon. That was when he was co-owned, and now I own him solely. Well, you're right about being an asshole. No, you know me so well. You don't. I do though. If I catch you drawing without permission, I'll flag you as stealing my work. Same to you and my OCs. Like I said, I can replace them. Go ahead, have fun with your anorexic OCs. If you really want, I can buy them from you. Cookie cutter characters, she says. I know you like getting items a lot. Oh, really now? Hella. Hey, you're adorable. Well, thank you. I know I'm fucking adorable. No, I'm not. I'm actually very unattractive. But I like your methods of flattery. Very interesting. If it honestly means saving the one thing I care about at the moment, then hella. 200 points each then. That equates to roughly $2, and I made the terrible mistake of actually letting her know that, because then she upcharged me way more, and I, again, am pissed at myself for saying that. Seriously, you paid 50. You want them or not? You're lucky I'm even considering. Well, first off, I don't have those points right now. Nice, so no deal. I'll have to wait until I buy more. I'm not doing it tonight, I'll tell you that right now. Then no deal. Well, you won't hold off for a couple days. You want to be rude to me, so I'm not holding off. You have 2 days the most. How am I being rude to you about this? Seriously, how am I being rude about this at all? I literally made an offer, I will pay you for this. And she's being a complete cunt about it. Got it, blackmailing me. Oh, you mean telling you I'll report you if you try claiming my character as yours? No, well, sure, let's go with that. Again, there she goes, just making false claims. Because that's not being rude. That's telling you I'm not taking shit. That'd go for you too, but I digress. We should never have met. I realize this now. Funny how you told me so many times to take Skitzel back, and then now you want to quadruple what you paid. Now that's going a little too low, even for you. Well, you want to blackmail me, I'll go as low as I fucking want. And don't you dare start spreading shit about me on DA to people. And of course, she did. And that is part of the reason that I'm actually making this entire video series. And I know one of the reasons that she does do this shit is because she wants attention. And all I've got to say is, hey, here you go. Here's the attention. Do you want it? Did you like it? I hope you enjoy it. Now everyone knows all about you and everything that you have done and everything that you probably will do in the future. So, there you go. There's your attention. You're lucky you're getting it at all. Oh, you mean the truth. Your twisted ideas and thoughts. And that's one thing to refer to me anonymously, but actually mentioning me is another. And I will not have you ruining my reputation, which again is something that she has tried to do on many occasions. I see you already have a bad rep. It doesn't matter what I say. Or, well, no rep at all, actually. And how's that? You're unknown and you'll probably stay that way, let's be real. You have the reputation of being a mentally unstable crybaby scener. You have no marketing skills because you're lazy. Lazy gets you nowhere. Keep talking. Well, I mean, she is. Because she won't do anything to try and get herself anywhere. I have a reputation of being badass at art. Now, I will admit I was being a little cocky there. I'll say that right now. I was being fucking cocky. You're lazy and don't do anything that will get you anywhere, and then you whine about not having any followers. I wonder why. Good fucking night. Perhaps you can talk civilly in the morning. Ha, bye, crazy. Good night, Tubbo Lord. And here we are at October 30th, 2015. Honestly, looking back on this conversation, it's fucking ridiculous. From both ends, I'll admit. From both ends, it's just a complete and total shit show. And honestly, all I can do is laugh at it because it's so ridiculous, and it's also so awkward to just read back this because it's very, very surprising to see that I was ever like this at all. And I would imagine it's probably very surprising for you guys to see me like this as well, because you guys, my friends on YouTube, you've never seen, this come from me at all. But I guess that also kind of goes to show how much I've changed over the course of just 2 years. Or I guess closer to, well, no, 2 years. 2.5 years. Be on tonight and we'll do the transaction then. Fine, you dirty bitch. I'm not in the mood for your extremely disrespectful tone. 420 disrespect. Blaze it. This message has been removed. Ooh, scary. I saw the message anyway. It said, I hate you. Actually, please grow up. Once you mature a little, then maybe I'll try having a decent conversation with you. Then again, you're almost 17 and you're still nowhere near. And that's coming from me. But of course, again, I've grown up since then. And you're almost 18. The fuck is your excuse, cunt? You're funny. You're worse, since you're an abuser. Yes, because calling someone a cunt and a dirty bitch is not abusive at all. And offering to provide a financial transaction is definitely abusive. Absolutely, just perfect example of abuse. You're worse since you're an abuser. Oh, I already read that. No wonder everyone leaves you in less than a year. You're a monster. So are you. You're evil. Absolutely evil. Well, if you mean a character I play in D&D is evil, then you're absolutely right. But no, I am not evil. As much as I'm sure being evil is very, very fun. You use and toss aside everything and anyone who comes in contact with you. You're no better. You do the same shit, buddy. Why did I ever be friends with the likes of your sorry ass? Again, totally not abusive behavior. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. My friends online are talking, and they're about to make it into a video. So I get a shout out to everybody who chats to me right now on December 30th of 1 a.m. 54:04. That was terrible. Like I said, we'll do the transaction, then you can remain out of my face. I decided. Go away, Discord. I can say the same to you on that. And what have you decided? 200 for Skit, 200 for Monster, and 100 for 10. You're not who I became friends with. You're the disgusting thing that took my friend away, and you've established that last night. Personality. He's mine. I'm not paying you for my own character. We went through this. Then I guess I'm keeping my OC. 10. You can have the rest for 400. He's my OC. We went through this, and then I sent the same 2 images that I sent her last night. Or the previous night, I should say. But I co-owned. Now give me 400 now. I said tonight, I'm not home yet. I don't have my Visa with me. My Visa obviously being my Visa debit card, in which I used to buy things online. I'm still fighting you for tempt. No longer co-owned, owned by me. He wasn't even co-owned to begin with. I guess I just sort of allowed her to have that one just to kind of get her out of my face on that. But no, this intellectual property was never established as co-owned. And there is absolutely no proof of it being co-owned anywhere. There was no written proof of that anywhere. In fact, all written proof, all documented proof has shown that I was the sole owner of said intellectual property. Oh, no, owned by me then. I gave him personality and design. And this is why I didn't even want to put your characters in. I knew this would happen. No. 100. You said it yourself. He's mine. I helped. No, mine. 100. Now. And then she added some random fucking person that I don't know into the chat. There, that'll make things a bit more civil, right, bitch? Again, definitely not abusive. I want a witness to your petty shit. Well, now you've got some witnesses to both of our petty shit right here, live on, I guess not live, but right here on the internet for everybody to see. So, again, you're welcome for all of that sweet attention that you've been so thirsty for. That probably sounds very, very sexual with the voice modification, with the audio modification, which in case you didn't know, I use audio modification because I fucking hate my voice. If you didn't notice. And I want my 500 points. I'm not paying you for my OC. Who YouTube fuck is that? I made 70% of him, 10%. I demand payment. Bullshit. What? I made that comic what it is today. Without me, you'd have no plot. You helped, I guess, but the comic isn't yours, it's mine. It had a completely different plot. Like I said, the original plot of this story was supposed to be a sort of a politically charged reverse alien invasion type story. And I guess I'll just kind of, I will lay it down very, very, very basically. Basically, it was going to be something along the lines of the United States of America discover this other planet with actual living beings on it, and they decide that they want to figure out a way to get there so that they can sort of establish their own ruling over it, I guess, in a sense, you know, implement the American way on this society, on this foreign intergalactic society that they just discovered. And so they work with a few other countries. I think it was gonna have something to do with Russia and North Korea. That part was never fully put together because I had only really been working on that aspect of the plot for about a year, not constantly working on it, of course, because I was in high school and I was working and I had all this other stuff I had to do. But that was basically part of the plot, and it was gonna... So that's where all the more political side of the story comes from, is with the US trying to implement their ways of life, their economy, their, you know, capitalism, the democracy, all of that stuff in on this society that didn't really have any sort of structured government at all. And it was just going to be a complete and total mess. And I thought it would be a very, very interesting story to tell. It'd be a very interesting sort of war story to tell. And again, it wasn't extremely developed, but that was also because I didn't have a lot of time to work on it a lot. But that's the very, 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 like, basic idea of what it was supposed to be before she came and before we made a lot of different adjustments to the story. But yeah, like I said, you helped, but guess what? The comic isn't yours. It's mine. It had a different plot, actually. Yeah, incoherent garbage plot. Again, it wasn't very developed, so of course it wasn't going to be very coherent because it wasn't very developed yet. 500, please. And remember, play nice. I have a close friend here who's a witness. It was a developing plot, and I'm not paying you for my own fucking character. If you change the descriptions of your profiles like you did with cutting yourself to frame your dad, then I have the screenshots to prove you're stealing my intellectual property. Bring the scumbag up again and you'll be the one paying big. Want me to raise it to 300? I'm still not paying for my own character. 300. Are you socially retarded? No, but you are. 300. And leave your little neon shithead out of the equation. I'm not the one stealing characters, neon shithead. You bring up my father, you expected me to be nice. And then tempt. I'm more than willing to pay for Monstrum and Schizo, but I'm not paying you for my own fucking OC. You try claiming him as yours, and I will be on your ass so fast you won't know what hit you. Listen, bitch. Again, totally not abusive at all. Fuck, go away. Listen, bitch. You have the nerve to bring up that abusive trash and not expect me to be mad. 300 each now. I'm willing to pay with Sketch and Monstrum, like I said. And I still don't have my visa with me, I told you. Oh, no problem, Skit and Monstrum, 300 each. Smiley face. Sure. Bring him up again and it's 500. This message has been removed. Good point. Oh yeah, that was me when I said, have fun with your $5 fucking dollars. 1,000 each. Really? No, 300. $5 is a steal. 10 bucks. Stealing is what you're doing. 10 altogether. 5 each. That's as high as I'm willing to go. Fine. Now that we've come to a complete consensus, I'll get it to you tonight when I get home. Good. After that, I wish you nothing but the worst. Because that is exactly what a mature person would say to someone that they will no longer be associating themselves with, is, I wish you nothing but the worst. I wish I was making this shit up, honestly. I wish that this was a joke. I wish that this was, you know, not real, but this is real. This is real shit, and it's ridiculous, and it's hilarious, actually. This is so fucking funny. Looking back on it. Then you can stay out of my face. How mature, so adult. You're one to talk, cunt. Totally not abusive there. Alright, I got the shit. There's no place to send it to. Do you want the points or not? You need to set up your donation pool on DA. Yes, hello, do you actually want these, or should I just give them to someone who actually deserves them? Oh wait, that would be me. This message has been removed. I don't know what that said. Give the points over, cunt, unless you want me reporting you for theft. Send it as a gift. My donation pool doesn't work correctly. I call bullshit on that. I think she just didn't decide. I think she just didn't take the time to actually figure out how to fucking use it. Which is literally, on DeviantWHY, you can make this sort of donation pool where basically you set a goal. Literally, you plug it onto your profile, and you set a goal, and that's literally it. Then people can just hit the little donate button and send you shit. And I guess she just isn't, you know, mentally capable enough to actually figure out something so simple. But then again, like I said, she couldn't even figure out how to set up a fucking YouTube channel. So, I guess that is something worth taking into consideration there. if she couldn't set up a fucking YouTube channel, she probably can't set up a fucking donation pool on DeviantArt. Then after that, you can go drink bleach for all I care. Enjoy having no friends to tolerate your bullshit. Meanwhile, literally, this fucking night, I went to a Halloween party where I hung out with all of my friends. Funny how, oh, there we go, I say it right there. I'm going back to sleep. Fuck you, good night. Funny how you say I have no friends when I'm going to a party with friends. Well, you're probably spending the night alone as always. Who's the one who has no friends again? Either that or taking your nephew out because you're too scared of your sister to refuse to be her bitch anymore. Go kill yourself, cunt bag. I'm spending the night trick-or-treating with my friends Honey and Haley. You know, the ones you want dead. Which, by the way, I never said I wanted anyone dead. I don't know where the hell she got that from. And I'll talk a little bit about... Here I'll kind of just shortly brief on how, what I know about these friends. What I understand about this Hani girl is that she likes K-pop and she's an American Muslim liberal. And Haley, who doesn't even talk to Sydney anymore because she can't stand her. She can't even fucking stand her anymore. And I know that because I recently talked to her when I was trying to gather some information for this video script. So that's just some more stuff to take into consideration. Now, you know that if I did that, the kill yourself, you could be charged with manslaughter. You're the perfect criminal. Well, it's a small price. A small price with money you don't have. I never said I wanted them dead. What kind of shit are you chewing on? Where's my points, cunt? Points. I want them now. No. I haven't sent them yet. Now. Will you shut up? Quit spamming me. I want them, bitch. Not with that tone. If you don't, I'll report you for stealing OCs. Be respectful about it. That's all you need to do. Why would I be respectful to someone who called my girlfriend a wimp and a pussy? Directly insults my country and emotionally abuses me. Again, something that she says that I do, and then she immediately goes and does herself. Hypocrisy at its finest. For the same reason, I'm respectful to a total jerk-off who used me for gifts and then ignored me when I needed help, and then ignored me again when I tried to help them. Now cut it with the cussing. I'll curse as much as I want. Still a free country. There, have fun with your gasps. $10. Hey, you're such a cunt. Enjoy her little pet. I hope she doesn't run away after realizing what her owner really is. Now my cunt. Just run that one by me. She knows. By the way, how's your cut scabs? I hope they aren't itchy. Maybe you could scratch them with those scalpels of yours. What cut scabs? You know, your cut marks. The cut marks I haven't made. Oh wow, that is a shock. That is. Oh wow, that is a shock. And then I corrected her. You aren't self-gaming like a retard. Self-gaming. And I didn't make an error, dipshit. Yeah, I play Sims, so what? Harming, you know, opening your wrist like presents. Oh, I know what you meant. I'm just living up to your standard of me being a cunt, as you put it. And by the way, when she says opening your wrist like presents, because from what I understood at this point, she was very, very against the whole self-harming shit. Meanwhile, again, this will come up later on, but she actually fucking does that herself. And not only does she do it herself, but she fucking posts pictures of it online to show proof. Oh, I'm actually suicidal, and I'm totally not doing this for attention. Which I actually have photographic evidence of in my phone, and will soon be in an archive, just so that if something happens to my phone, I don't lose any of that evidence that I have collected. Garbage. Oh, no, you aren't a cunt. Actually, listen, that you're trash. See you die, trash. And that is a bit of an inside joke that we had. So, don't bother trying to get that. Maybe even less than that. Hashtag wrecked. Ha, you really are worthless. You know it. But anyway, if you know it too well, you know it too well, because all you have to do is look in the mirror and you know exactly what worthless looks like. Thanks for nothing. No, all I see is fat, lol, and that's all you'll ever see. You know it, mate. Same with you, too. Mate. Well, you're 3 times my size. Not really. I actually look like a human being. I mean, how can you know? Just by pictures, hella. Oh, that does mean does that mean I'm an alien? Ooh, spook. That's another thing you're too lazy to do. I have a thyroid condition, just saying. Yeah, you know what, you fucking idiot. I technically have a... Not even technically. I do have a thyroid condition in my family, but you know what? I don't blame that shit for my weight. Yeah, I'm fucking overweight because guess what? When I was in grade 10, I made some really shitty decisions. Or no, not grade 10. I was in grade 11. And when I was in grade 11 and I had my first job, I made some really shitty decisions. And I put on, I think, probably 50 to 60 or 70 pounds because I made some really shitty decisions. Here I am, owning up for what I did. But you don't even own up for, you know, your horrible diet, your lack of exercise, and then you blame your heart attacks on somebody who you have never even met instead of your shitty ass diet and lack of exercise. Yes. Oh, I have thyroid condition. Just saying. You know what? You can still fucking lose weight. All you have to do is move around and not consume 2,000 to 3,000 calories a day. Sorry, I just went off on a bit of a tangent there. It honestly pisses me off when people say, oh, I have a thyroid condition, because you can do shit for that. You can get medication for that. I actually met someone who had her thyroid removed and is taking medication to supplement the thyroid, and she's lost a bunch of weight since then. And a lot of the time, the thyroid condition doesn't pop up on its own. Usually there is something that sort of sets it off. For my mom, it was having kids. After my mom had my younger sister, she started to put on all the weight, and she's been having troubles losing it ever since. And that's what fucked her thyroid up, was having kids. For some people, it's their shitty diets, and I'm pretty sure that's probably what happened here with Sydney. I don't know why I highlighted that, because that's not what I'm talking about. But I digress. Let's go. Let's continue. I have a thyroid condition, just saying, whereas you just pick out, yeah, sure. Says the one who consumes, you know, who has eaten, and I say this is an anecdote, of course, where she has eaten in front of me an entire package of hot dogs, where she has in front of me eaten, you know, an entire fucking bag of bagels. That's 6 bagels. Probably what the typical calorie amount for bagels is roughly between 160 to 280. Multiply that by 6, that's almost, or no, not even almost, that is close to, if not over, 1,000 calories in carbohydrates, which, in case you didn't know, is bad for you if you have too many. But of course, she doesn't know this because she doesn't know anything about human health. You refuse to get a job and complain about being poor as fuck. You refuse to do anything. You refuse to try anything online and then complain about having no followers. You refuse to do anything and then complain about being 200 plus pounds. Though what can I expect from a pizza face? All you do is complain, and all you do is bitch. What acne do you see? Bye, anyway, bye, cunt face. Hey, what I'm probably going to end up with... Hey, guess what? I'm probably going to end up with thyroid disease too, because it's kind of in my family. And then November 5th, 2015, I don't know why I said this, but cis Bratankus. And that is how this certain conversation ends, is cis Bratankus. Now, give me a second, and I will get the other message up. The one that that was up there. That is Tumblr. I'll just open a new fucking window. Oh, it takes so long to load. I got a bunch of messages. That's some pretty fucking art there. Oh, there's so much pretty art on this page. It's so nice. Oh, it's so good. So good art. Oh, artgasm. Ooh, oh boy. Oh boy. Oh, it's heating up. Fuck. Okay, this might be important. September. Okay, that is nothing there. Where the hell is it? That's November. I need something from October. So I will go into here and search October. Or maybe I'll just search her name. September 20th, 2017. Okay, I'll search and send. Oh, that's not gonna search the who I sent it to, is it? 2017, 16. Oh, no, wait. November, October. There we go. Here's the message that I sent. I sent a period. What do you want? I want to fix this. Oh, really? I don't like fighting with people, you know that. I see. How's the watch count? Why does that have anything to do with it? Because you watched a lot, lost someone. And then that's when I said this. Okay, so. Yeah. That was that. So, yes. A couple days later came the night of our group's annual Halloween party. And that night was, I think, the first chance I had to give more details to anyone in my friend group besides the two who were with me prior. This night marked a sort of new chapter for me, as I had removed a very toxic person from my social circle. I grew so much closer to a larger portion of my other friends, and even made some new ones in the process. So I guess for this I sort of have to thank her. So, thank you, Sydney. Thank you for being such a despicably rotten excuse for a friend, and for strengthening my bond with my real mates because of it. This is where I'm going to end this video. However, the story is long from over, as a lot of things happened after this. And I'm going to probably spend the next couple of weeks trying to put together absolutely everything and get everything all in order, because a lot of this stuff is just scattered literally everywhere. And so I'm going to be spending quite a bit of time getting all of that stuff together so I can continue sharing this story with you guys. So, like I said in the previous video, be sure to subscribe, hit the bell button for the notification so you don't miss out on the next video, whether it be from this series or a potentially completely different video while I continue to work on this series in the sidelines, in the background, or whatever you want to say. Be sure to like it if you enjoyed it, share it on your social medias if you want to spread the word, and again, like the previous video, I encourage you to mirror this on your own channel. If you have your own channel and your own following, that would be superb. But anyway, until then, good day or night, time zones are weird, and I will see you in the next video. Peace the X out.